Hi, it's Marina, the Soul Alchemist, and we have got Pick Your Own Card Weekly Guidance for the 2nd through to the 8th of October. So happy October. We are going into the Witch's New Year, where we can really celebrate the thinning of the veil and Samhain, but we've got a few weeks before we get to that point. But we have a cracking set of cards to start this first week off in October. The bonus card is all about relationships and connection, so stick around for that. That's going to be revealed at the end. Pick your cards. We have cards 1, 2, and 3. Use your intuition to do that. Know that all of the cards are going to resonate in some shape or form, but you have your focus. So that's perhaps going to be the thing that takes up 70% of the week, or it might be that it's a couple of days. Or you might find that actually all 3 of the cards, once you've got the full message, kind of weave into all of them, into each other, and give you a complete and whole picture of the week. As always, they do absolutely build on each other, and they kind of travel through from card 1 through to card 3, well, even into the bonus card. And it's really interesting, and I'm wondering if you'll notice the theme from a colour perspective that is running also through these cards. And I'll give you a clue, I'm actually wearing the colour. I've just realised. It's really interesting. When I turned these cards over, I was like, oh my God. So there's really a thing about communication and throat chakra. So throat chakra, clearing my throat now. Throat chakra might be a thing that you also want to look at. So what I will do is I'll tag at the end of this video also a healing transmission, AKASHIC transmission that supports the throat chakra. So that will be there for you to also tune into. So let's dive into card 1. It's your authentic self. This card hasn't been up for a little while, and it is beautiful. So you can see that she's this female is kind of like relaxing. It's like, oh my God, when you've been out for, well, it's not like I go out anymore, but in the younger days, when you used to go out and, you're all like dressed, topped up, and you're like wearing all your best clothes. But perhaps you got something on that was a bit uncomfortable, but you wore it for fashion and all of that. And then you got home and it was like, oh my God, I've just got to take everything off and just get in my comfy clothes and just relax and slouch and slob about. That's what this card is saying. This is what I'm bringing through. It's kind of like, I don't need to put the pretense on any longer. And I'm also getting further guidance. For some of you, you don't know who that is because the mask has been there for quite a long time. And that kind of sounds quite big, doesn't it? And a little bit kind of sad, I suppose, in a way. But it's not. See this as an invitation, a opportunity to start to discover and unveil who you are. And you might have to do a bit of your own little work, your own little digging and discovery and all of that to start to lose some of the identities, start to lose some of the hats that you wear to facilitate everybody else and to support everybody else, the husband and the wife hat and the partner, the mother, the father, the uncle, the sister, the aunt, the daughter, the son, the healer, the business owner, the entrepreneur, the manager, the office worker, whatever it is that you do, the colleague, the trusted colleague. We've all got these roles, and it's kind of like we are doing so many of these roles that we actually forget or have lost our core connection to our essence. We haven't lost our core essence. It's always there. Our soul essence and who we are is always there. But sometimes we forget to connect to it. And so card 1 this week is about rediscovering perhaps, or just making a connection and an acknowledgement to your authentic self. But it is about taking down the mask. It's kind of allowing things to be seen as your authentic self, being in your authentic truth, and not putting on the pretenses in order to keep people happy or keep the peace or to fit in. It's like, no, I'm going to be authentic because that feels better for me. There might be a little bit of fear around that, a bit of insecurity, fears of judgment or fear of loss or whatever comes up. And again, acknowledge that. But be your authentic self regardless. And that is the message here. Because look at her face in terms of the serenity and the peace. That's what it brings to you on the inside. So the fakeness, the layers, it gets a bit tired. It gets a bit uncomfortable, like the clothes. And so this is like, I'm just going to show all of my finery, all of my glory. I'm just going to be authentic in myself. And it might feel a bit uncomfortable as well because you don't know who you're going to be authentic with. But try and emphasize. Notice where you are not in your not self, with who, what situations, circumstances that is, and who that is with, because that gives you a lot of information. So you can kind of be more aware of your own behavior and how you react and all of that. So then you can start to make adjustments. It's not about judgment, it's making adjustments. So your authentic self is there, ready and waiting, all ready to take the mask down and reveal your true self and feel at peace with your true self. So there could be a little bit of work around that as well, not feeling at peace with your true self because you've been told to be somebody else and you are being somebody else to please somebody else. It's time to stop that and step into your authentic self. So let me know how that card resonates. And as I always say, if you want to play along with me each week, you can get your own Akashic Oracle card deck. It's a modality in a box. It's not just the cards. You do get invocations and you get like an activation. You get a key, antique style key. I've got one here. It's over there, which you can use as pendulum. And you also get a 2-hour masterclass. They've come as bonuses. So it's not just a deck of cards. It is way more than that. So if you want to delve into that a little bit more, then click the link below. Also, if you want to join me live, then I'd love to see you live in a week's time on the 8th of October. I'm actually doing an in-person 5-hour immersion with these cards. So again, if you want to know more about that, reach out to me. Also, if you would be interested in an online version of this 5-hour immersion, then also pop that in the comments, because that might be something that I also consider running in maybe later October or November. So let me know. Anyway, card 2. This was the card that I picked. I was like, okay, this card has come up so much this week for my clients, for the free one-to-one readings that I did the other night. In fact, there was a powerful healing that accompanied this on Thursday night. Those that were there know what I'm talking about. Trauma and wounding. So you'll notice we have another blue card. There's a theme. We have started off with our authentic self, letting down the mask, allowing the real us, the real you, to step forward. But is there trauma and wounding there that is preventing that or making it really difficult to do that? Could be connected with inner child, could be connected with past life. Whatever this trauma and wounding is, it's here for you to look at, and it's part of the allowing your authentic self to step forward. So it's working through whatever trauma and wounding, and really thinking about, where do I hide myself? Where am I not speaking in my truth? And why is that? What stops me from doing that? Is it a perspective? Is it a belief? Or is it an actual experience that I have seen or witnessed? And you may kind of feel into those questions and not even know where it comes from, where this thing is about you not wanting to kind of remain hidden. So it could be past life if you can't really put your finger on it, but there's just this sense that I can't do it. It feels unsafe. There's going to be trauma and wounding that is linked with that. So allow whatever memories, thoughts, feelings to come up this week. And again, just acknowledge them. If you can do some healing with them, any forgiveness work, the Hawaiian prayer, I'm sorry, I love you, thank you, no, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, whatever the order is. Do the Hawaiian prayer and say that on repeat until you feel the shift within yourself. That's a really good way just to allow yourself to release some of the trauma and kind of offer forgiveness to yourself for holding on to it for so long. And as I say, you may not even be conscious of it. But there is something that's definitely linked with card 1, with authentic self and being in your true authentic self, that connects with trauma and wounding that prevents you from doing that. But you'll notice that there's these butterflies. We are smashing through the glass here to get through the layers. So even if there's nothing connected with authentic self for you that you, again, can make a connection with, just notice where there are soul wounds that are coming up for you. Typical soul wounds are ones of abandonment, rejection, soul wounds of loss, being unlovable, soul wounds of betrayal. You know, these are kind of typical soul wounds of embarrassment, humiliation, those types of things. They are typical soul wounds where we feel really wounded. And so it sits in the energetic DNA, it sits in our Akashic records, sits in the mental, emotional, physical body. But when we give acknowledgement to that, it's like these butterflies. It's then allowed this release, and it can transform, it can alchemize. So just notice what's coming up, what perhaps triggers are that are coming up, whether that be with, as I say, people, thoughts, situations, circumstances, unexpected things that show up that just set you off. There's a trauma or a wound within that if you're willing to go there, will help you smash through that layer and activate the healing. If you need some support with that, let me know. I can definitely recommend people if I can't support you or if I'm not the right person for you. But there is a release, there's a breakthrough with trauma and wounding this week. Allow the transformation to happen. It will feel uncomfortable. Just because we've got to face some of those fears or face some of those memories or just sit with the emotions. And, you know, we don't like to be uncomfortable. We're always seeking pleasure or avoidance, numbing. So we don't have to feel. So trauma and wounding is your second card. That's the card I specifically picked. So I am intrigued to see how that shows up for me. And I'm looking forward to the alchemization of whatever that is. I know that there's quite a bit of resistance coming up for me with my next growth and up level within my business, because I've really stepped up into something that's quite big in terms of mentorship, which is going to push all of my buttons in terms of money and also can I do it, and sitting down and, you know, doing stuff that doesn't light me up, but structure is needed. All of those things are pushing my buttons. So that in itself, there's the kind of the woundings of I'm not good enough, I can't do it, you know, all of those types of things. So I can see where it's going to possibly come up, but there might be something else that also pops up as well. So let me know how that card resonates. As I say, if you want to go deeper, if you want to work with me one-to-one with an Akashic Oracle empowerment session or subscription, then also let me know. I can also support you in that way with guidance and Akashic healing that's also included in that session. Card 3, we've done 2 blue cards. Card 3, perfect, beautiful. And this just demonstrates everything that I've said about those first 2 cards in you being able to do this, you having the power to do this whole process and trust yourself in doing it. And it's alchemy and magic, another blue card. But in this one, she's blindfolded. So we started with the mask coming down and showing our true selves, or wanting to connect with our authentic self and going deeper there and rediscovering our identity, who we actually are, without all of the roles and all of the hats. Trauma and wounding may come up for that, because as we go through that process, it could reveal some layers of where we've needed to put masks up and hide ourselves, because it's a way of protecting. It's a way of avoiding. But with this knowledge and with this ability to be open and curious to what comes up this week, we can activate alchemy and magic. And we don't need to know the full ins and outs. We don't need to really see in a very logical way and understand the process. We need to just get on and do the magic, do the alchemy, and trust the process. Now, as I say, you may want to actually get somebody to facilitate that rather than doing it yourself, but you listening to a healing guided meditation, doing the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, doing some really beautiful journaling practices, and honoring yourself and giving yourself some time to listen to yourself and go deeper and ask some really poignant questions, starts the alchemy process off and starts to activate the magic. Because your guides in the universe can step in, and anything that you do, certainly if you're doing a transmission with me, then your guides are going to be there. But if you're doing any journaling, if you're doing any forgiveness work, ask your guides to also be part of the process, because they can leverage the whole thing for you as well and do a lot of magic in the background. You've just got to call them in. They're never going to step in and just activate stuff for you, because we've got free will, and it's, you know, it's the law of free will. You know, it's they're not from a kind of a being like, you know, our spirit team, support team. They can't do that. They're just not allowed to do it. It's under the laws of the universe, because we have free will. So we can't be made to do anything by our guides, positive or negative or whatever. So alchemy and magic. So if you've picked card 3 as your main focus, what are you alchemizing? What do you need to alchemize? Where do you need to create magic in your life this week? And that could be business, relationships, health, connection to self. Alchemy is where we are transforming from one state into another. So literally shifting your mindset in a couple of seconds, shifting your vibration, your energy, your emotional state, your emotional moods. That's alchemy. Your physical body is a really resourceful tool that we have available that alchemizes stuff all the time. It's constantly alchemizing energy, because we eat and we drink, and you know, we have all of these bodily functions, so it's constantly alchemizing. It supports us, you know, moving through viruses and colds and all, you know, coughs and ailments. Our body alchemizes a lot of stuff. But we can also alchemize on a mental level. We can alchemize at a spiritual and an emotional level as well. So where can you create more magic? And I would invite you to use perhaps affirmation as a way to do quick and easy alchemy and magic, because that's a great way to shift your mindset and come out of lack and scarcity into gratitude, that type of thing. Imprinting your water with positive affirmations or intentions is a great way to create alchemy and magic. Using sigils, using your pendulum, going out into nature and asking for some, your bad mood to be released. That's alchemy and magic. So alchemy and magic, it can be in a very simple form. But this card, if you pick card 3 in particular, is asking you to alchemize and be the magician this week. So really look at what you would like to shift, what parts of your life or business, work, would you like to change? And then be the alchemist and believe that you can be the magician, the person that can create change this week, because you can if you believe it. So Alchemy and Magic, it's a beautiful card, but when we tie it in with the other three in terms of revealing your true identity or going there with that, perhaps it raises trauma and wounding because you've put a mask up in order to protect. And then we step into, okay, well, we know all of this, we're going to alchemize it. Just even with awareness is alchemy and magic straight away going on there because we have awareness of it now. So that is your third card. So we're now going to go into the fourth card, but you can see that there's a blue theme that's running all the way through these cards. This is all about relationships. It's all about connection. And it's another blue card. It's growth and up level. So obviously there's a business work connection because this comes from that particular chamber of business and career in this actual deck. There's 7 chambers altogether within this Akashic Oracle card deck, and growth and up level is part of that, but it's growth and up and level in your relationships and connections. So you're going to see shifts, you're going to see expansion, you're going to see changes in relationships. So they can be relationships of any kind. It doesn't have to just obviously be business. Relationship with yourself as well, which looking at all of these 3 cards, if you're going through and doing all of this alchemy and magic based on trauma and wounding and in the layers and masks that you're putting up, growth and up level is just a byproduct of all of the work that you're going to indirectly, unconsciously or subconsciously or even consciously do this week. But there's growth and up level, there's movement also with partnerships, maybe client connections, colleagues, family members. You've got growth and up level and movement, breakthroughs, because she's smashing through the wall. So perhaps where you have found that you've been at loggerheads with somebody, there's no movement, people haven't been in contact with you, or you've not been in contact with them, there's going to be a breakthrough of some kind. Now, just know that breakthroughs might not feel like they're really happy breakthroughs, because the movement might be that the person steps away, but it's a breakthrough as in there is movement of some kind, and there will be a growth and up level because of that. But I would say for this card, I see it as mainly a movement in a positive way. I don't like to use the word positive or negative. Expansive way rather than a constricted contraction type of way. I see it as more of a joyful breakthrough than it is a painful one. But we have a lot of growth and up level that comes through our painful experiences as well. So relationships and connection, movement, breakthroughs. So you might find that somebody gets in contact with you, somebody that you perhaps have been wanting to reconnect with or build a relationship with. You're going to find that there's movement there. There's going to be growth. There's going to be an up level. There may be a deepening of a relationship and a connection as well, where it maybe gets a bit more, there's a bit more commitment. There might be, a bit more established. There might be people getting engaged or, declaring their undying love for each other or moving in together. So you might find that there's commitment there, growth and up level, which, when we're declaring a commitment to somebody, then that is a growth and up level, and it's the next level, isn't it? So it's a breakthrough into the next level. But breakthroughs can come through where it has been stagnant and there has been no movement. I just feel there's a movement there as well. So let me know how those cards resonate. So we have a completely blue, which I don't think has ever happened in terms of colour, and I'm big on my colour. We have a completely blue set of cards. How fabulous. So you can see how I thought perhaps the throat chakra may be something that we also need to work on this week, hence why we've got the video at the end. So do let me know how you get on. Let me know if you want to get your own deck of cards, you want to join me at the live in-person workshop, or you want to work with me one-to-one. All options are open. Just reach out to me. Have a fabulous first week of October, and I'll see you really soon. Love and blessings. Bye.